What Went Wrong in Hurricane Katrina by Gardner. This famous quote from a philosopher gives my idea of what I think went wrong. For where absolute freedom is allowed, there is nothing to restrain the evil which is inherent in every man. Aristotle. This is exactly what happened in Hurricane Katrina. There was no government to stop it. The chaos in Hurricane Katrina was caused by human nature and how people and the government reacts to a crisis. People will act in barbaric ways when the government falls, and it will cause problems. The following quote from an article shows how without a proper government, people will take advantage and commit criminal actions. I was shocked by all the looting and how many people were breaking laws. This quote shows how when there is no government structure, people will commit criminal actions as they know they have a better chance of not getting caught in trouble. And the government will expect people to act violent when they are not present and will act accordingly. This next quote shows that exactly. But armored personnel carriers patrolled what few streets were passable, their occupants carrying automatic weapons with their orders, shoot to kill. This quote shows how the government suspected that there would be people who would be breaking the law and causing chaos, and they acted accordingly. The government will expect people to break the law and will enact justice. People will also act based off survival instincts when they require sustenance to live. The idea is here that sometimes people have to commit these criminal actions so that they can survive. This next quote shows that idea. At a Walgreens drugstore in the French Quarter, people were running out with grocery baskets and coolers full of soft drinks, chips, and diapers. That quote showed how the people who were looting were doing it more based off a survival instinct kind of way. They needed food and water and drinks to live. The next quote shows how someone believes in my idea, just besides me. I thought it was justified that some people were stealing and looting for food and water so that they could live. This quote shows how I have another person who believes my idea that it's okay that some people were looting and breaking things because they needed this food for their own survival. My point is that people will act however crazy or barbaric they have to because they are interested in themselves and they just want to survive. One kind of opposing opinion some may hold to this is that people are by nature good and will always act good in any kind of situation, but that's not true. One reason why they could believe this is because of the way they were raised and how the world was always portrayed to them. They may have never experienced people acting barbarically and in ways that may not be considered good, because they've never been in a situation in their life that required this kind of action. This belief is completely incorrect because this is based off the way that they were raised and shown the world in a peaceful environment. There was no option to see this because look at the quotes I've shown and look at the looting I've shown and look at the human behavior I've shown. It's all shown people acting bad. Not just bad though in general, bad during a crisis or a terrible situation where they're forced to go back to their primal instincts. This is why I believe I'm right, and I have this quote about to be presented that also shows my idea in action. Kathy had not wanted their family to become collateral damage in a war that had no discernible fronts, no real shape, and no rules. Shows how, from even another point of view, how she thinks, Kathy, that there is no way that humans will be able to act good, that they will just act bad, and this could cause damage to their family. Just to conclude the counter-argument, people who believe this are incorrect because this is the way they have been brought up, in a way that they don't see people that are being bad, they only see the people who are acting nice. Now, in an absolute conclusion, the injustices that happened in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina were caused by the way humans naturally act. As soon as the crisis hit in New Orleans during the hurricane, people realized that they have to go back to the way that they were so that they can live, so that they can protect themselves and or their family. And this is really the whole idea. And that idea is that as soon as a crisis happens, such as New Orleans, that is the cause of all the chaos. The way humans naturally act is the cause. And my final thoughts are that people in a crisis where there's no government, such as what happened in Hurricane Katrina, right after it anyways, they will always act out of barbaric and survival kind of ways because they realize that they don't have a government to protect them and they need to protect themselves. And this is what caused all the chaos, humans acting like humans. Thank you very much. This is my idea of what happened and what caused the chaos after New Orleans.